May not be able to do many more recaps due to my DJ schedule after next week. It's just nonstop. Wanted to take a look again at this Trade Saber Reversal Predator because the signal looks so good, and I ultimately hit my profit for the day. But trading these micros, man, I'm just trading, almost an hour and a half to 2 hours, and you see I hit it eventually, but not with a little drama involved. I'm only maybe $500 away from getting these PAs. I still haven't gotten the contract for this. You can see I traded it by mistake, testing something out, and just $2. And I'm surprised if I made $2. How did I pay $1.90? Oh, it might have been two contracts. Yeah, two contracts. So there you go. Anyway, took a break even. I'm still above, but that was a little dangerous. Good thing it wasn't NQ. Anyway, back to the charts. MNQ. Pretty much all micros today. Actually, I can't even say that. Well, let's just look at these signals first. It's a 20-50 crossover trade. The light green bars are longs. 3 points to 5 points is a win, and you can see. I don't know how this was at 9:30. It could have been violent and not even work properly because it's just moving too fast. But really, there's 3, 4, 5 in a row, 6 in a row. 5, 6 in 5 minutes. You know, even if you're going for $60 or $50 a win, you're easily at $200. These are engulfing bars. I don't usually take these, but these won too. Another winner here. If you were waiting 10 minutes, this would have been the first trade. You won it. Then you get a loss in here. Another win, another loss. And again, 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after, you can't really trade these. That's their rules. So again, you wouldn't be trading these at news time. I think it was actually 10:05 news today. Right here. It's actually a win right when the news came out. And I think a lot of these won, actually. These shorts here. Again, into VWAP, you want to watch it. Once it breaks it, you can see you're going down more. So, being I'm trading micros, I'm only trading a few contracts at a time. Each win is out. $10 is like the most I get. $20, $30. So, trading, I'll get it up to about $170. I was considering stopping. It was getting close to 11. I was playing the zones in here. Now, it was an up market for the most part today. And we didn't see this zone here. It's where I like to kind of go long. You see when it's slowing down, it really hard down trend, and now it's getting stuck here. I'm like, all right, this market's going to reverse and go long. And I kind of was playing those longs, even when it hits, this level. This is called Big Blue of Ludwig levels. Boom. Again, if I was trading NQ, one trade and I'm done for the day, $200, and that's a play that I like to do. If I'm doing 2 or 3 micros, you're making $30, $40. So at this point, I'm trading it. Even here, took a little beat, came back. I think I got up to 170 right here. I'm $30 away, and might have played a couple of these longs here. But once I got to this line here, I drew this line, and look how relevant it was. I think it was another Ludwig level on NQ as opposed to MNQ. So I drew it there, and look how relevant. Boom, hits it. Again, I'm not sure what's going on here. Now, I want to play this zone again to get my $30. And I think I took one trade. I got it to maybe 80. I'm $20 away. Here's another one. Like I said, I'm real close to $200. Well, look what happens. See, I was probably still at 130, 140 playing this line. $10, $10, $10, winning all these trades, but creeping up. Then this shoots up like this. I'm like, all right, we're definitely in an uptrend for the day. If it's not going to get through here, which is what I thought, because it normally won't. Even if it hits this level, it might come back, and then it'll break through that level. And what happens? It comes right back. Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock. I was $30 away at this point, and look what happens. So I'm only in 1 or 2 micros here, but it's against me. I'm like, it's not going to go that far because look what happened here. It broke it. Hold on. It broke it, but by only 10 points. So look, it's coming right back down to that level. This is live action. Let me see where we are. It went to 100. Yeah, so the market's way up again. So going back to that area where it broke at 11, So now I'm stuck in this trade. This pullback wasn't enough to get me out. At this point, I was on, my entry, I was probably in the 90s because I was adding in and I wasn't close enough. I was still probably 10 points away at 95 at this point. And it never came back. And then look, another nosedive. So I keep adding in. It's not coming back far enough. So now, I'm getting down quite a bit here. Look, even more. I'm still adding in here. It's 60 points away from my original entry, almost 50, 60 points from my original entry. So I'm probably 10, 15 contracts in, down 5, 6, 7, 800. Comes down even more here. Might have broke 1,000 or right around 1,000. And maybe you never hit 1,000 because I didn't knock that at a trade. And now, for whatever reason, comes back here. Now I was like, wow, this was the open. I was like, it's fighting this area because it's Globex. There's a level. And now my entry, I got to get to 77 up here from, I was 40 points away. Actually, more than 40, right? 40. Yeah, over 40 points. I was 45 points away. That was a lot of heat there. Now, a lot of my contracts I took down here, so the drawdown probably wasn't as bad. But, you don't know if it's coming back down. If it breaks here, I could blow up for the day. Or at least, lose $1,000 in micros, which is like, ugh. It took me 2 weeks to make 1,000. 2,000, I should say. Now, here you go. Once I see this level breaks, came up here. I was 7 points away from break even. And then it came all the way back. So again, it was just a battle and a struggle. And eventually, this level, I was at 77. I had all my targets kind of right here in this area, 77, 79, 80, 81. And you can see it did struggle there, and I got all my money out by here. Before that line, I was taking my money. So I didn't really get, I went from, maybe 170 to 270, $100, a big deal. So that was the crazy trading of the day. And I'm saying to myself, I created a new template with this reversal predator, which is this software here. And, I always say, oh, I trade better than that thing does, right? Well, today I had it on one contract. And if we look back, out of the gate, again, it was winning, even if you waited. I mean, you got a loss here. But again, if I would have managed this trade, I wouldn't have lost this trade. I would have won that. Again, how many you need? You got, even if you take a break even, you're up 50. It's one contract. 50 break even, 100. Again, see, I say that, and then, but this is 10 o'clock again. I actually stopped at 5.2, and there was news at 5 after, so I wouldn't have been trading those. Even this one, even this great win, there was some weird news at 10:05, so I just stopped for a while. Even here, I wasn't trading. I waited. I really wasn't taking any of these shorts because it was news driven. I was looking more at this line to go long again. And it eventually comes down here. So this is kind of where I started trading for the day, was down this area, playing this level in these longs. When I did get the account up. Yeah, I mean, this is a loser. I mean, again, you're not taking that, but like, let me just go back. Say I started trading after like 10:10. You're not taking any of these. I probably didn't want to do short down here. I'll probably be looking for longs. Let's see what the longs did. Once I got here, now I'm going to look for longs. There was no long signals here. Not taking that short. All right, here you go. Boom, boom. 2 winners in a row. That's at least $100. One contract too, not even two. Let's see. It's coming back down again. And for me, I like to do quick long right here, and you win that trade. No longs. These are all shorts. I did not want to short into here. And here you go. Another winner here. That was a close one. Well, again, if I'm in this trade, I know I want to take my profit before that level because I put the level there knowing it was going to react. And look, right before it. That's why I go a few ticks before. So I would have cashed out of that one early. And now it's coming back down to this. And this is where, again, I got in trouble. with micros. You know, if I was trading, you probably would have took my stuff. But if I was trading minis here, I could have got really in big trouble. And again, this didn't come back far enough to get me out because I was still in the 90s by dollar cost averaging in, and none of these came back far enough. Eventually, I was at 77, and look how far it came down. So, you know, stressful day because I was in that trade. What time did I finally get out? No, even here, it never came, and then it came all the way back down, and then finally here. So, over 1 hour in a trade, an hour and 10 minutes. Taking on huge heat in micros. Now it looks like the market stalled again, and I'm kind of done for the day. So, again, you know, I don't know what to think about it. Obviously, not great trading, but the micros can help you from blowing your accounts. It was close today because if it would have continued this downtrend, who knows what would have happened, even if I would have lost 1,000 in micros and then went to minis and tried to get it back, would I have? One thing I'll say is that I had a little bit of a malfunction, and I think it was the first time it dipped. All right, this one I won. All right, now this dip right here. I was playing my shorts here, and I was maybe entering, from this level. Then I added here. I was 3 or 4 or 5 contracts in. I added in here, and then Ninja froze. It would not let me move my stop below here. So by the time it unfroze, it hit my stop, and it knocked me down like 100, maybe 140 bucks in micro was the loss. So I switched my Replicano over to NQ. And again, this is more of a recap for me, like my journal. Switched it over to NQ. And then once it broke, again, I actually I turned this on and I took these longs. And I got 1, 2. That got 100 back. And then I probably took this here. And boom, I got my money back. The 140 loss, I got up. And then I think I went back to micros, which luckily I did. Because if I was doing minis here, big trouble. Anyway, that's the recap. I really got the problem with trading micros is I have to trade for like 1 to 2 hours to make $200. And, the more you trade, the more likely you get in trouble. So it's just, I'm really struggling with like how to make my profit quicker. With minis, I can make my profit in 5 to 10 minutes if I was trading, just going for $200. But you're also risking blowing your account. So anyway, that's my win bag for the day. Probably won't be able to check in too much in December, but good luck, everybody.